no matter how much your heart wants to be better, at the root of all of this, we have to stop sinning. We have to get sin out of our life. Welcome back to the What's the Dill podcast. I'm your host, Pete Dill, and as always, thank you for stopping by, checking in, watching, wherever you are consuming this. I appreciate you all. Welcome back for the first time viewers and listeners. This is What's the Dill. This is the setup. This is the gig. This is what it is. I want to thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about one of everyone's favorite topics, sin. That's right. We're going to talk about sin today. More particularly, we're going to talk about those sinful habits we keep falling into, why we're falling into those sinful habits, and what we can do about it. Obviously, this is very relevant to me. I think it's relevant to you. We all have those sins that come to our mind right now. It's in your mind right here. You're thinking of those sins that you fall into, that you have a stronger proclivity to fall into those sins than other ones. We all have them. Why do we do that though? Why do we have those nasty habits that we keep falling into? Well, we're going to talk about the root causes, some reasons behind that, what we can do about it. Because this is a reality. Sin, we got to get rid of in our life. No matter how we want to cut it, we got to get rid of sin. I always think about faith through the context of sports, athletics, training, fitness, because for me, it's always a very, very easy way to wrap my head around the spiritual life when I think about it through the context of sports, athletics. So for example, sin, we have to get rid of it in our life. Just like if you ask any Olympian, any athlete, hey, I wanted to be where I wanted to be. I needed to train how I need to train to get to where I wanted to be my goals. I needed to stop doing some stuff. To get where I wanted to be in my athletics, in my fitness, for my team, I needed to stop doing things. It doesn't matter how you cut it. I need to get more sleep. I need to stop staying up so late. I need to stop drinking. I need to stop smoking. I needed to stop hanging out with the wrong people, being up too late. I needed to be more focused. I need to stop being so distracted. I need to be more consistent. I need to stop being inconsistent in my training. And no matter how you cut it, if you ask any Olympian, they're going to say, I needed to stop doing things to get where I needed to be. And that's the same with sin for us. We want to all be better spiritually. We're all striving to be in a different and better place spiritually. And no matter how you cut it, no matter how many devotions you do, no matter how much prayer you do, no matter how much your heart wants to be better, at the root of all of this, we have to stop sinning. We have to get sin out of our life. For me, this was a pretty big, I would say, turning point in my life. It's a pretty big turning point in my life, really realizing I need to stop sinning. No, but the reality is there's this JP2 quote. I can't remember exactly where it's from. So if you do, let me know where it's from. But JP2 is we need to call a sin a sin. And that might sound very simple because you're yeah, sin is a sin. This is a sin, that's a sin, that's a sin. But when it becomes in our own life, I think we have a tendency to, not be so serious and be very casual with the sins that we struggle with. Very easy to point out someone else's sin, but the sins that I struggle with, I'm a little more casual on. And then I can even start being well, what really is a sin about this? And we know that type of thinking, for example, when it comes to, let's say, drinking or drunkenness. Okay, yeah, being super sloppy, slobbering drunk, you're oh, that's probably not right. That's probably not where I need to be spiritually. But then you start going back enough, you're but am I drinking 7 beers and saying, well, I'm not slobbering drunk. What is it? Who cares? I'm not slobbering drunk. So, I'm not sinning. Again, I'm not here to be the one to draw the line for you. I'm just trying to call out these scenarios where we make justifications for sin and where we push the line. And we don't want to get overly scrupulous, overly legalistic, because sin is the things we do or don't do, but let's look at the root of sin is our heart turning away from God. That's how I try to think of it. Okay, I sinned 18 times today. I sinned 14 times yesterday. So that's a +4. That's not good. That's not a great thing for me. But I sinned year over year. I'm down 100 sins from 2024. So that's good. Good progress. The sin in our life isn't something we can nail down like that. It's not a spreadsheet. Okay, so where does that leave us? Kind of we need to sin less, but it's not a spreadsheet. Where does this leave us? What does this mean? How, are we keeping count? Are we not keeping count? I think a great way that has something that's helped me is that sin is a turning of our heart away from God. It's a turning from God, like physically. It's like, hey, you're there. You want something from me, Lord. I'm just going to turn this way and do it this way. Hey, Lord, you're here. You're telling me you want me to treat people better. You want me to not smoke. You want me to not drink. You want me to, be not create idols out of money and power. You want me to not fall into sexual sin. You want me to be keep people's, treat people better. And I'm going to do it this way. But I'm going to turn and do it this way. So you want these things to be, but I'm going to turn and do it this way. And sin is the turning of our heart away from God. Okay, so reason number one why we keep falling into the same sin is you're not fighting the source of your sin. Remember we had Nick Red on here a few months back, and he's talking about his work with the Freedom Group and how he helps guys who are falling into sexual sin and pornography. And he talks about fighting the cravings, fighting the triggers, getting back to the psychological and biological sources of what's leading up to these habits. So for example, sin can be a lot of times be coming from an unmet need in our heart, like loneliness, fear, stress. And if we can't identify some of these unmet needs, if we can't identify some of these triggers in our life, we're not going to be able to stop the cycle. Because we can't fight temptations. We can't stop falling into sin in the moment. We have to start way, way before that. I know I've had a lot of growth in that. I've had a lot of growth in that, where we have to fight our sins not in the moment. Your willpower can only go so far. We have to start way at the beginning. We have to start with our hearts, our psychology, our spirit. And what are these things that trigger us to fall into sin? Can we identify the triggers? Can we understand ourselves and understand that we have maybe voids in our life? Because we have to get beneath the surface to really, really stop cycles of sin. Because God doesn't just want our habits corrected. He wants our hearts healed. He wants our hearts to be purified and healed through him. And God can't heal us if we don't even let him into the places that are dirty and nasty in our life. Like, we have to actually let God heal us. And we have to first acknowledge some of these shortcomings, some of these voids, some of these hurts, some of these pains from the past. So we're never going to stop sin. We're never going to stop cycles of sin if we can't even acknowledge the voids we have in our own heart that are helping trigger us to sin. So what can we do about it? One, I think we can journal. We can write down what is leading up, like write down when you fall into sin. You can write down what happened to you that day, and you can maybe start to see some patterns, pattern recognition. So like if your boss yells at you and then you're falling into sin that night, okay. If you're playing video games, you're getting really angry, getting really worked up, and you fall in the same sin, okay. If you're watching stuff on TV and I don't know, that's making you fall into sin, okay. But you can write down what you did that day, just everything, write down to hopefully see some patterns and see where you're falling into sin, and then you can try to dig into why you're falling into sin. Like, all right, well, is it because I'm angry, upset, lonely, fearful, tired, hungry? That could be a great way. And then secondly, we can ask Jesus to reveal the shortcomings in our heart. And this is harder because God might actually show us. He might show us through our life. But he say, Lord, show me where I need healing. And he starts bringing up stuff from your past. You might have to actually deal with it. So we can ask Lord, reveal in my heart where I need help, where I need healing. Show me in my heart where I need healing. And he will put things in our past that will help reveal to us what need healing. And then hopefully we have the people and the processes around us to receive that healing in our heart. Okay, reason number 2, we fall into the same cycles of sins, the same habits of sins. We are trying to fight sin with willpower. This is a classic. This is a very classic guy technique. Like, I need to stop falling into sin and I need to try harder. I need to pray more. I need to grit more. I need white knuckle this more. And the reality is that we can only fight sin with our willpower for so long, for so much. It's good to have good willpower, But so much of our faith life comes down to surrender. In John 15, God says, apart from me, you can do nothing. Do we believe that? Do we believe actually nothing? Or do we believe like, oh yeah, God, I got it. Like, apart from you, I can do nothing in the things that are spiritual, but like the physical, the real things, like I don't actually need you in my life. I got it from here. And we just try to fight it with willpower. I get it. Apart from you, I can do nothing like, big spiritual things, but for stopping the sin, I just need to do this. You don't have to worry about it. You got other busy things you're doing, Lord. And so we need to give to him. We need to surrender to the Lord more our lives and surrender more and say, Lord, like I can't do this without you. I keep falling into the same sin, Lord, and I need your help. I cannot stop sinning without you. Like, think of those sins in your life that you fall into. I'm thinking of them. Okay, got him. I'm thinking of them. Today, am I going to say to the Lord in prayer, Lord, I literally cannot stop sinning without your help. Without you, I need your grace. I cannot do it on my own. I think we need to get on our hands and knees and really admit to the Lord, Lord, I cannot do this on my own. I need your help to stop sinning. So we have to actually surrender our hearts, surrender our will, surrender our lives more to God and just like open hands, like, Lord, I need you. I literally need you to stop sinning. So what can we do about it? We need to start the battle of temptation before the moment. So we need to stay rooted in prayer, stay rooted in the Bible, stay away from things, stay away from triggers, whether it's, whatever it is. Think of your sin in your life. We need to stay away from the near occasion of sin. We need to stay away from the triggers. We need to stay rooted in God, stay rooted in prayer. And we need a more intimate relationship with God, not just a transactional relationship with God. If our prayer is just, Lord, I want these things, help me get these things, I'll be a good boy, I promise. I don't know if that's really an intimate relationship with God, and we're probably going to keep struggling with sin because the Lord is trying to always bring us somewhere, and he wants to reveal things in our heart. He wants to reveal our heart to us so he can bring us where he wants to bring us. All right, reason number 3, we struggle with the same sinful habits. We're trying to do it alone. This is just, this is just real. I think so often we think we're the only ones struggling with the sins that we struggle with. We think no one else of my super holy friends and family is struggling with this. So we keep it secret. We keep it hidden. We keep it deep down inside. We suppress it. We suppress the sin. We suppress the urges. We suppress the thoughts. We don't want to talk about it with anyone. But like the reality is, in the walk with Christ, the Christian walk, we need to do it with other people and other guys. I'm just speaking for the guys, just for the boys. Other guys can need to keep you accountable, need to hold each other accountable. So we need to do this with other people. And sometimes just expressing that you're struggling with sin and sharing that struggle with someone else, and you both have the same struggle, you can say, you know what, actually, I'm not in this alone. We're both fighting this. Let's both do this together. And that can make the fight easier. So when you share your struggles of sin with another guy and he shares them with you and you're doing it together, you're fighting it together, you're walking the walk together, fighting sin together, it can make it easier to do. The walk can be easier. It can be lighter because you're doing it together, not alone. Shame keeps us isolated. It keeps us hidden, and it keeps us divided. And remember that the evil one loves division. The evil one loves secrecy. The evil one loves the whispers of shame and guilt. So he's trying to sow that in our head to think, I'm the only one who struggles with this. Everyone will judge you if you say that you have this sin. No one will believe you that you're trying to be good if you have this sin. Everyone's going to think you're a loser and you're a sinful, evil person if you say that you struggle with the sin. All these whispers of secrecy and shame are whispered to us. That's not coming from God. So we have to acknowledge that we're not perfect people, and we have to do it with each other and help each other be accountable. So I think something we can do is find one person in our life that we can share deeply with. A spiritual director, a friend, a trusted confidant, a family member. Find someone that you can share your struggles with, who's not going to judge you, who's not going to condemn you, and that can help you and can help raise where you want to be, help level up with you, help you step into the person that you want to be. Okay, so final words is that, God is not surprised by our sin. but he wants us to stop sinning, and he wants to draw us into his life, his being, his love more, so we stop sinning. Let me know what you think. That's the episode for today. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me about any other thoughts or how to stop sinning, or whatever, any thoughts on this episode. I'd love to hear from you on this. So appreciate you all as always. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this with someone who you think would enjoy this, and I'd love to talk to y'all soon. Peace.